What's going on, Paulie?
Not much, Fouad. How are you?
Not bad. We are a little bit older, and Viagra and Cialis are a part of our schedules as bodybuilders. I know I use a low dose for better pumps. Do you use Cialis or Viagra at all?
I use Cialis every day.
Use it in the bedroom?
I do have some stronger ones for the romantic evenings with my wife.
Well, is it embarrassing to ask the doctor?
No, I'm not embarrassed by it.
Well, I know some people are embarrassed to ask the doctor. So if you go to rexmd.com/RBP, you can now get your Viagra or Cialis for 90% off by using code RBP. So if you're using it for the gym to get better pumps, or if you're using it for the girl to make her happy, either way, you can get your prescriptions or your Viagra, your Cialis through rexmd.com/RBP. It's a good deal, right? 90% off?
90% off with your code, or
90% off with the RBP code.
that's crazy. I'm probably going to order right now on my phone.
All right, check it out.
I will.
What's up, gentlemen?
Hey.
I still sound sick, don't I? Do I sound sick?
Yeah.
You sounded a little rough yesterday.
My chest cold has moved into my head, so now it's a head cold.
That's
But-
Right behind my eyes.
The
Right
Starbucks will make everything better.
You're sick too, Ben?
Yeah. Everyone got fucked. Everyone at the Olympia got fucked.
Everyone got sick.
I was good.
You were sick before the Olympia. That's why. Don't try to play it like Paul's like my immune system is stronger than all of yours. He was sick. He was sick the week before the Olympia.
I got old man immunity.
No, you don't. You were just as sick. It just happened. You got it before. So you probably, it lingered with you. You probably brought it.
I brought it there. Yeah.
You gotta read.
No, I had
patient zero.
a different variant.
Neil, what are you doing? What are you messing with?
I'm trying to find. I can only see one person at a time.
Oh, you got to find the
put in gallery.
Yeah, you got to find the thing that says view and then hit gallery.
Yeah.
We'll let him fuck with that. So what's going on, Ben? How you been after all the craziness and Christmas, and you chilling out now? You normal? Back to normal?
Kind of, yeah. I'm still taking a bit of a vacation. I guess a holiday. Fucking holiday. It's a holiday. So just enjoying family time and seeing Phoenix. It's been a long time since I saw him and just hanging out with him. So yeah, it's been good.
Yeah, you were away from
Nice.
home, weren't
Yeah, it's like 8 weeks. I saw him 4 days in 8 weeks. I'm like, no,
Wow.
I need to actually spend time with him.
Ben tried to run like an actual UFC fight camp, but for bodybuilding.
you? I love that though.
No, it was. You know what? In theory, it was probably one of the coolest things I've seen done by a coach, because you went to where your athletes were located. You got an Airbnb. You brought a bike, like you had a exercise bike in the fucking living room. You were doing cardio with them. You were doing everything with them. So in premise, it was a great idea, but in practice, it killed you.
Fuck, I was trying to do too many things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, we talked about it though. Ben had, I don't know if you know this, Paul, but Ben has on his property has a separate house that they use as a rental house, I guess, and massage therapy and stuff. And then he's got his own gym. So I'm like, all these athletes should be coming to your place.
Yeah. Why don't you do
Well,
it? That way?
it is probably if it does happen again, that's what will happen. So yeah, we'll see.
I think I'm going to come out there and let Ben coach me. Me and you
I'll
will
come
go.
with you, Fouad. We'll do a camp.
Me and you will go to Ben's. We'll let Ben coach us for 6 weeks.
Whip us
I'll
into
be
shape.
away. I'm going to be away. I'm going to go to the UK for 6 weeks.
We're just gonna come live with you for 6 weeks, okay?
We'll live in a rent house. Can you imagine the transformation? We're both old, and Paul's got a distended stomach, and I look like a bag of dough.
You're gonna revitalize your career.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a comeback, and it's gonna be all your.
Hey, they got that Masters Olympia when you head for that.
Yeah.
What's that?
The Masters Olympia.
Oh, yeah, they're bringing that back, right? I'll be Grandmasters now. I'm 50.
They don't have a Grandmasters Olympia. You have to compete with
straight.
You, me, and me have to compete now, Paul. Are you
With
allowed?
Dexter.
So Paul, you have a pro card,
Yeah.
but it's checked off as judge. Can you
Wow.
switch classes? Can you
Yeah.
can you compete?
I could cross over, I think. I got that card. That's all I needed. So I think now I can cross over.
I think you should. Like if classic, Neil, you can cross over to pro, right? Like to open.
Yeah.
So I don't see why it would be a problem, Paul.
I don't see why not.
Paul, come to open with me, bro.
Yeah, maybe I will.
Actually, we should take a look at. So Neil, you've already put on like 40 pounds or 30 pounds.
I saw that picture today.
The picture you post.
I'm 244 pounds today. Ben's working his magic.
I can see it in your face.
You're such a guy. You always say that.
He's still really lean though.
This isn't you now, is it? Is this you now?
Nah, that was when I was on prep.
I was going to say this is the previous trunks. You've changed the trunks since then.
That was just before you hammered me for trunks.
Is there a recent photo of your 245 pounds now?
Yeah, I posted. I got my stories. The one that
There's one today you put up, right?
I haven't put much up on a few of my stories. I think I put him left. No, fuck you, no.
Sorry.
Right.
Why won't it go over to the next story?
Go right. Because you got to put the arrow. There you go. Again. It's from yesterday. No. All right, hang on.
Post it in your
Can we
stories
post
again.
it now?
Yeah, post it in your stories.
Right.
I thought I saw one that said 244 or something.
Yeah, I thought I saw that too.
Yeah, so there was a photo I posted today, which is when I was 244. But I am also 244 today.
Okay, but that wasn't an updated picture.
So
No,
you were
that was
Okay.
So you weighed in at 215 on stage. Well, you weighed in at 215. What were you on stage? 225?
By the time we got to the stage, I was about 223.
So you've put on a good 20 pounds since then.
Because the thing is, like, obviously Ben will tell you, the hole we dug to get to 215 was so deep. Like, dude, I was eating 80 gram of carbs or 100 gram of carbs we got up to every 2 hours throughout the night for like 2.5 days. And it's like the hole was so deep. It was like we kind of just leveled out. We didn't get full.
Yeah.
I just couldn't recover from it, mate. And it was the nail in the coffin for me. Like, you know, I know the classic game and you've got to go on stage at that weight. And it was like the 4th time I presented my physique at the best it could be at that weight category.
That's right.
But what I know is nowhere near my best I could be.
Yeah.
And me and Ben, like straight off stage, Ben pulled me aside and they were like, come on, dude, it's time to do open, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Neil, if you think about it, Neil, sorry to interrupt you, but if you think about it, it's the same. You're not the only person that's happened to. I mean, if you look at Derek Lunsford, we saw a dramatic change in his physique, right? Like, look how much better he looked when he was allowed to just go crazy and not worry about the scale, right?
Yeah.
So I think, I think you're going to have the same effect. Like once you're able to just eat and do what you want to do.
You know what's funny about it is a lot of guys go, oh, well, a lot of these guys are, having to struggle to make weight. And I chatted to a few of them, oh yeah, like Urs was like 4 pounds over the day before. And I'm like, this guy was 13, 14 pounds over the day before without much, like, there's being over, and then there was where he was.
Well, the thing is, it's like we've seen again. I'll use Derek Lunsford, Derek and Flex, for example. Flex Lewis is a good example too. Used to be and John. I'll use John Meadows. John used to look his best at 220, 225, and he would have to carve out like another 13 pounds or a little less. And I saw him do it. He sat in a sauna one night for like fucking 8 hours to just dry out and get on a scale of 212.
Yeah.
But you just can't recover in time to get back that tissue and look as fresh as you would.
No.
I think as well with me, mate, because my look like kind of goes from like the waist to the shoulders to the quads.
That's right.
And once I get below like 220, my chest disappears, my shoulders flatten off, my lats go smaller, then my waist looks bigger.
Yeah.
My quads aren't as full and I lose my V.
The proportions, yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's what makes my
all my
physique,
stories.
right?
Oh, your story
All
is
my
there now?
stories. Yeah. I
So-
put 3 up. I think I threw up 4
Well, the
up.
thing I was going to ask before I take a look at that, the one thing I want to ask, I guess you and Ben Neil, is I almost feel like you could go on stage at like 235, 240. Like, is that
Yeah.
accurate, or is it just Instagram photos? Because on Instagram photos, when you're 240, 235,
They're
you
ready.
look like most open guys, like
Yeah.
not size wise,
Condition wise.
yeah,
Yeah,
condition wise. Like you have that same condition that most of the open guys have at 235.
Yeah, I believe so, because obviously classic demands such a hard condition with the weight cap, right?
There's
You
a little more,
have
yeah.
to be, because if you're a big guy, you have to be stupid conditioned.
Yeah.
But obviously within open, there's a bit more of a balance of condition, size, symmetry.
Sure.
Obviously you still have to be shredded.
Yeah.
But I do feel that at 235, 240, I can be in stage condition with, if I dried out a little bit with water, you know them little manipulations at the end. I feel like, yeah, definitely, but I'd like to be quite a bit heavier than that to be competitive.
Yeah.
Like I'm 244 now. We've not put one bad meal in. I'm ill, and we've only trained twice, and they've been light sessions. Obviously, well, they're not the hard sessions, but I've been taking it easy because we've all got the same flu, right?
Yeah.
But I think I can get up to probably a nice, I don't know what Ben thinks, but maybe I think I can probably get up to a nice 265, 270 in shape.
Yeah.
And then come back down from there, maybe.
Maybe you could do the Fouad diet and get up to 280 or 290.
The Fouad diet.
Yeah.
No,
Mate.
but no, let me take a look at this photo first, real quick, just because Ben posted. I want to show everybody what you look like at 244.
Wait, what?
Where'd you post it?
I posted it on Instagram and it's still loading.
Well, let me refresh my page. See, maybe that's what.
No, yeah, they're up. They're up.
Yeah, let me refresh my page.
Yeah.
And Neil, I feel like you got the kind of frame that can put that much more muscle on. You're probably, it was your small waist too.
Yeah, I
it'd be a
feel like
better
I've
look
got
for you.
loads of space because I've been holding back.
Look
Yeah.
at this, Paul.
Good
Look
chest,
at this.
eh?
Look at
Yeah.
this 244.
Yeah. Yeah. That's crazy.
Like that looks like at 235, it would be in stage condition for the open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm
if you could,
holding a bit of water there because I got the flu a bit.
yeah,
Mhm.
I mean, it's pretty crazy, man. But you pulled
Yeah.
the trunk,
Yeah,
you pulled the trunks back out.
Yeah. Well,
Why'd you give him shit for that, Fouad?
Well, I think I know why he wears. He makes his penis look bigger, so he wears these ones.
I was gonna say make your waist look smaller.
no.
But you're right. It's got the dual effect.
His waist.
Wait,
looks-
there was two others on there that I put
Oh,
up.
wait. Okay, let me go back. Let me go back. This is also from.
Yeah,
These are also from today
this is yesterday.
or yesterday. So, what do you think you have to work on? When I look at this, I see
Yeah.
I see arms, like from the front. I see arms mostly.
yeah. So I still feel I'm not fully recovered from the 215 Olympia yet.
Yeah,
My arms will get bigger. I've not trained arms yet.
Yeah.
I've not put any blood back in them.
Mhm.
I think I need to improve everywhere, to be honest. I need a little bit more quad, definitely more calf, more arms, more chest, more lat, and then from the back, adductors, hamstrings, more back thickness. I just need to morph into an open bodybuilder and become denser and thicker.
I think, and I don't know, Ben and Paul, you can weigh in, but I think chest and quads, you're on
Strong.
par with anybody else in the open. I think
Agreed.
arms.
Especially on that frame.
Well, that's what I'm saying, right?
With that
And
waist, yeah.
I think adductors, like if you fill this gap in a little bit,
Mhm.
Yeah.
arms round out the shoulders a bit to match the chest. I think you're good from the front. I think the back,
The back is the priority.
yeah, you need to
And hamstrings, yeah.
thicken up the back, and hamstrings should be your main priority.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I got to go back
That's
to. Sorry, I'm on Ben's page here. Let's go back over here. See if I can find a back shot for people that don't. I mean, look, even in this front double,
That's a great shot.
like your lats from the front are great. They frame your body really well. Your arms are good. Your biceps are good. You probably use a little more tricep, but this gap, once you thicken up the adductors, that's going to look great because your quads are going to have a great sweep to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need that adductor to be a bit lower.
Well, it's just because your quad sweep is so good that you need to kind of fill this in a bit in here, make it a little thicker, just to make your leg look dominant as fuck.
Yeah.
Because if you filled in this inner part here a little bit, I mean, with that sweep, your legs would look like Rami's.
Thicker.
Like they're crazy. From the back,
You scroll down a bit,
Or
there's some
side.
back shots.
You see the side of the hamstrings on the side.
yeah, you see the side of the leg,
Yeah.
a little bit more ham there. But then again, Paul, you got to remember this is him at like 220 or 215.
Right, yeah.
So that's not really indicative of
For sure.
his thickness.
But with quads that crazy, like you know, if you can build hamstrings to match, lights out.
Yeah, your lats from the front are fucking great.
For
They really-
sure.
They really frame your body well. And your front delts are good. I would just say you need to cap that off a bit on the side and the back delt. Yeah, see that? How it like slopes a bit. We're doing like a full rate your physique on Neil right now. Sorry.
That's what it turned into.
It's okay. I think it's good for people to see. Like the
You see that this pose on him where his chest is so full.
Yeah.
Once he was under 220, that just is not there
It
anymore.
goes, yeah.
All you
Neil,
see is rib cage on him instead, you know?
Neil, I hope you don't mind. I would like to do a full, like, you know, if you're going to be doing this all year, it'd be really great for people to see the progress from these shots to your open debut. Like for people, like, because a lot of people, like, we do, sorry to interrupt you again, but we do a lot of rate your physiques and we tell people things, and it would be cool for them to be able to see it live happening all year long from these shots to like 8 months from now or 10 months from now, and how things have changed.
Yeah, because that's what I want to do. Like, I was talking to Ben about this. I want to really document this journey from classic to open, because there's quite a lot of guys that come from open and want to go the health way and come down to classic, right? We've seen it quite a bit lately.
Yeah.
But we've not seen too many like top classic guys go up into open and do well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I want to document it on Instagram with like photo updates and some training stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then I want to document it in a lot more detail on the Hostile YouTube.
Have you thought about doing measurements? I've never measured anything, but Ben, I don't know if you
ever measured anything?
Well, I measured my dick a couple times.
You definitely measure your dick.
Okay, like twice in my life. Okay.
Did it change from one to the other?
Well, because I was really young, and then I was like a little older, so I was like, I want to see if it got bigger. Like,
Did it? Did it get smaller? Okay. Honest truth. Have you guys measured? No, never.
You've never measured.
No.
I swear to God.
You've never measured?
No, I've compared it to things, but I've never.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I've done
that's no, that's measuring. Like you grab like a Evian water bottle and you put it next to it. And you're like, okay. Neil, have you measured?
Yeah, quite often, bro.
Neil's checking like every month.
Like more of like a situational measure. So
okay, that makes sense.
You know, if you've had like a Viagra or a Cialis, like, oh, let me measure it. You know, or like I'm full blown off season and it's really warm. Let me just check it.
It's really warm.
But then if I'm on prep, prep and you're on the AI, you're not measuring it.
Yeah,
it's not good.
The circumference is gone. The fucking everything.
Yeah.
All right. So going back to this. Do you mind? So you don't mind if we pick apart your physique a little bit here?
No, man, go for it.
Okay, I thought you were good like that, but I just want to check. Okay, so from the side, just to show people, like this is more of a explanation for people watching that don't understand bodybuilding fully, what we're looking for. So when I see this, and Ben and Paul, again, you can weigh in. When I see this, I see a strong front delt, a little bit more cap to the back, so you get more of a straight across shoulder, right? That'll improve that side look, thickness from the side, and then obviously the dominance of the quad to the hamstring needs to be matched, and then the bicep is crazy, so the tricep needs a little bit more. Do you see anything else, Paul, here or Ben, that needs to come up at all?
Go ahead, Ben.
Hey, you're the judge. You go.
Oh, the only two things.
I'll tell you what I put on the summary of the focus for training.
The two things that stand out to me that would improve the pose is rear delts and hamstrings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can find a back shot here. Is there any back shots in here? The front lat's
Yeah, if
crazy.
you go,
Yeah.
if
There
you
you go.
go,
There's that double there. There's a back double on that one. And you come out and go
Let me see
down.
this shot.
I think if you go back and down one was just
Yeah,
down the
yeah,
right
fine.
side.
Oh, your insertions are really good, man.
Yeah.
Like your fucking lats. Like a lot of people, they don't
So
always
low.
get this insertion right to the hip, and it's
Mhm.
pretty
Uh.
developed. You know what? It's actually developed well out here. It just needs more 3D. Like it needs a little more thickness to it. Yeah,
Lower lat.
yeah.
Right. So I put on there physique focus is maintain these midsection and lines,
Yes.
lat thickness density, hamstrings and adductors.
Yep. 100%. Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
They're the focal points for right now.
Yeah. If the 20 extra pounds, or whatever it's going to be, can just go to the back alone, hamstrings and back, that's
yeah.
that's going to be a great physique. It already is a great physique. But I mean, that's going to be a tough physique in the open division.
If you can get if you can keep your waist small, I actually think you can get away with not having massive arms. Like Antoine does that, right? Antoine doesn't have huge arms, but because his waist isn't blown out, it doesn't look bad. I think once your waist starts to get a little bigger, then you need fucking really massive arms.
Well,
So
we said his midsection is under, or he's that those proportions underpin his physique. So we have to keep that. We have to keep that.
yes.
Yeah, that's the strong point. Yeah.
And the changes we've made, like with my food plan, my food that I'm eating is still chicken, beef, rice, whey, cream of rice, blueberries, almond butter. So I'm eating no food that is going to blow out my midsection at all. There's no cheat meals in my plan. And training wise, we're doing back twice a week, but it's a different type of back. Like I've got heavy one arm rows, etc., etc. I've got RDLs now.
Yeah.
I've got 2 leg days now. And on quad day, I also do hamstrings after.
Yeah.
And on hamstring day, I do quads after. So I'm hitting hamstrings 3 times a week.
Yeah.
Hitting back twice a week, chest once a week, arms once a week, shoulders once a week. And instead of training 10 times a day and doing 3,000 cardio sessions, I'm doing 20 minutes cardio and 6 training sessions a week. And loads of recovery time now.
Ben,
so it's like we've ditched the high volume approach.
Yeah, of
and
course.
We're now training for open bodybuilding.
Yeah.
And everything you guys have just discussed about my weaknesses are actually built into my new plan. So it's pretty cool that you've kind of pinpointed exactly what Ben's obviously pinpointed and built into the plan.
Yep.
So hopefully in a couple of months, those weaknesses should become strengths.
Well, just so you know, I know nothing me and Paul said isn't something you guys didn't already know. I was more saying it just for people watching, so they can just so they can be educated about what people look for in a physique. Fuck, I lost my train of thought. I was going to ask Ben, do you do all his training, or is the training style that he's on, is that as
of 2 days ago, I restructured everything for him.
Do you think 6 days is too much, or is that what you want to do?
Potentially that's what we're gonna see. I would taper into the off season. As we get deeper and he gets heavier and recovery demands go up and his strength increases, we may look to bring it down to 5. Go from there.
Again, I just want to make sure you guys know when I'm asking these questions, it's more for teaching purposes, not
as he's coming right out, and I know his mentality as well. I can't take the guy from 10 sessions a week to 4.
For those people who don't know, Neil was training, not including the cardio because that was prep, but Neil was training twice a day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that's why they're talking about going down to 6 sessions instead of 12.
It's a lot less than what you're used to.
Yeah. And there's an arm day on its own in there, which I don't often account for too much of a CNS demand and recovery from an arm session. So we have 3 heavy days, then we have an arm day, and then we go heavy again, and then a rest day. So the arm day is kind of
almost a rest day. It's like an active rest day.
Yeah, I know you're working. There is some fatigue build up there, but it's a little less, and the food is high enough so that there should be coming out of a hole a little bit into the next 2 days.
So another question that me and Paul, like when I was trying to build, so I always had a thing with trying to build my legs. and trying to build my back. Those were always the two things I focused on the most. And I would never prioritize both at the same time because I felt like I couldn't do 2 leg days and 2 back days in the same week. So I would always prioritize one or the other. So there'd be like 4 to 6 weeks, or maybe 8 if it was going well, where I would do 2 back sessions a week. And then there would be like 4 to 6 weeks or 8 if it was going where it would be 2 leg sessions a week. So are you guys, I kind of missed what you were saying, Neil. Are you guys doing 2 back and 2 leg sessions a week?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're doing all 4 all in 1 week, or
That's right, isn't it, Ben?
one rotation.
Yeah.
Now at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then, like you said, when I went, if we move to 5, which I think by the time his body weight is up at like 260, 270, he's going to need an extra day to recover.
Yeah.
I would probably look to pull one of those out, because I mean, the quads don't need a whole day. There's certain things we can get away with. So depending on how his back is developing, we probably pull one of the leg days and keep the hamstring solo with just 2 quad movements at the end.
Yeah.
Let me ask
the quads can be very demanding in terms of recovery, and we know has good quads. So the amount of muscle mass that's there is going to be pulling recovery, pulling demand. So
let me ask you let me ask you if this makes sense. I did this for a little while before when I was trying to do all 4 together, like fit all 4 days in. I would do a back day and a second back day, but on the second back day, I would do my whole back session. And then I would, at the end of my back session, would be deadlifts off the floor, and then another hamstring exercise. That way,
that's what he does.
But you're putting hamstrings on it as well?
Yeah, he has an RDL, and then I see like.
Okay, so you're already doing that. Okay.
So Monday's back plus an RDL.
Yeah.
Then chest and shoulders on Tuesday, quads and 2 hamstring movements Wednesday, arms on Thursday, back on its own on Friday, then hamstrings and 2 quads on Saturday and Sunday off.
So that's what you got going. The only difference was the only difference was I would do the deadlifts off the floor because I wanted to get my quads involved, because I almost treated the deadlifts off the floor as a second leg day. I guess you could, because I felt like, to me, deadlifts are, when you do them off the floor, the bottom half of the movement is all leg.
Yeah.
So I feel like that was getting the blood back in my quads. And then I was getting my hamstrings, and then I would do like a lying leg curl or something after that. So I would do back and then get those 2 leg exercises, mostly hamstrings. And then that was that day.
No, I want the RDL off the floor. The RDL was off the floor. And then
fulfill it all. Yeah.
Like I say, the quads aren't a huge priority for us. So that back and hamstring or back and RDL day is basically a full posterior day.
Sure.
Just everything on that back chain.
Yeah. I'm excited, Neil. This is it's an exciting thing.
As well, like the new stimulus, like, because obviously I was training such high volume before. Because obviously when me and Ben started, I was in a rhythm with the Milos training style, with a training partner, with good synergy, and everything was great. But we didn't want to break that. Where now I've left that training partner, and gone full blown doing it the Ben way, and like I'm gonna failure at 12 reps.
Yeah.
And that stimulus, like already, I can just feel my body growing and my appetite increasing, and like it's just so different. And I can just feel like straight after the sessions, it's just such a different stimulus, because I'm going to failure. I'm training to failure on like, we're doing like 2 sets near failure on an exercise, and then 2 sets of like 10 to 12 reps to failure. Whereas before I was doing 3 minutes time under tension.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that
stuff.
No, like I knew you were doing moderate weights before, but I thought you were still doing failure sets. You weren't doing any failure sets?
Not really. Because
okay.
I was conscious I couldn't put any weight on.
That's right. So you're trying.
I've tried to find a way where I could train hard without getting any bigger.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
So I was doing time under tension, 6-second eccentric, 6-second concentric, squeezing, holding in the contraction, holding in the stretch. Whereas now I'm bodybuilding.
Yeah. You're going to failure now. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm loving it.
Yeah. Well, it's fun to go to fucking failure because now you can
Yeah,
push now you
the
can push
shackles
yourself.
are off, man. The
And they get
shackles are off.
The shackles are off. I like that. Well,
I'm
listen,
keeping one shackle on him.
what do you
I'm like, yeah, settle down.
Paul, what would you say is a good comparison for this physique in the open if you could think of one?
with the extra added weight that'll
Yeah,
be
what do you think he's going to look like? I
to
can't
compare to somebody else.
I can't pinpoint
That's crazy.
I can't pinpoint a physique that this would look
Well,
like.
You know, I could see it looking like Raphael when it's all filled out with 20, 25 more pounds.
Yeah, the only difference is I don't feel like even though Raph has great legs, I don't feel like they have the same sweep to them.
Yeah, but
right.
You know,
I
thick
think
up, they're not as sweepy.
Yeah.
But just off the top of my head, someone who's looking from the open division, I could see it like because Raphael's really aesthetic looking, and so is Neil. So I think with the extra weight on his back, especially, that's the first physique that comes off the top of my head that he'd be comparable to.
Don't inject anything in your lats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I've said this before on this podcast. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to say it again. It's just a bro science theory, but it's my theory. You fuck up muscles when you start injecting in them too much. And I know I never injected in my lats. And once I did, that's when my lats started to get fucked up. So
I do my lats.
Yeah, but you don't bodybuild.
Well, got great lats though.
You do have great lats though, Paul.
Thank you for it. Thank you.
No, but the only reason I say that is this is rare, like to get this sweep from the lat like that, and you don't want to fuck with it. Like just
yeah.
You see a lot of people having that like diminished at the minute, don't you?
What?
Well, like we talk about Rami's lats and how they've kind of gotten higher up and kind of disappeared. And I wonder sometimes if that's I don't know if he injects his lats. But I wonder sometimes if that's part of the issue or if it's something else. I just it's hard because you have to inject somewhere. And if you're an open bodybuilder, you're probably doing a lot of gear or enough gear, and you have to rotate. So you have to find areas to keep things smooth. And I think a lot of people I think the lats are a newer thing in the last 10 years, maybe last 15 years. I don't know because I didn't hear about it too much when I was coming up in the beginning.
The old school guys would just do like ass only, didn't they? Maybe
I think they were doing glutes.
That didn't sound very good. Yeah.
Only in the ass.
Yeah, no, but I think for a long time it was glutes and then it was shoulders. And I think then people started to notice that as the trunks got smaller and maybe the gear changed, I don't know, the glutes started to end up getting lumpy.
Or the frequency of shots.
Arms started to be the big thing.
Well, because I think people stopped,
right?
Yeah, because I think people stopped using their glutes, so they need to find somewhere else. And a lot of people don't like using their legs. It's like, maybe I'll use my arms. And I always use my legs because I was like,
I never liked that.
I touched one in my quad. I think I did 3 in my quad ever. And it was
too.
Every time I did it, I'd regret it. And then I'd like wait a year or 2 in the back. Oh, maybe I just did it wrong. And I'd do it again. I couldn't walk for like a week.
Not the same.
I love doing my legs, man. It's fucking, I'm like, it's the meatiest fucking muscle. I'm like right there, pow, fucking.
Yeah. But then every time it would blow up on me.
That's what I liked. That's what I liked about it. I'm like, oh, look at the sweep on my fucking legs.
It's red hot tender, really sore that I can't walk.
I never got red hot tender. Hey, it doesn't matter if it's red and hot when there's protein on. You can't tell. It's just sweet. No, I just literally I stopped using my glutes after like the first 5 years, maybe because I noticed people started pointing it out, and I'm like, oh shit, I think I'm starting to get like a little lumpy there. So I stopped using my glutes. I started using my quads because I didn't want to use my arms, so it was shoulders and quads. That's like I would go four areas.
Luke used to literally just here and here.
I couldn't do it. I started to
rears. He'd go rears and here. That's where
I used to use rears. Yeah. Rears can be painful too.
I never minded the pain. I do rears, but I always felt like, I don't know why shoulders didn't give me any problems, but when I injected anything else, there would always be something. Like I had little small tears in my quads. I ended up getting small tears in my back when I started shooting it.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. It's tough.
I mean, the fewer times you can invade a muscle and create damage with a needle, the better. Like there's no two ways about that.
Yeah.
I always try and use them like, it sounds a bit crazy, but like the 2-inch needles, so it's really deep in the muscle. So I find if you do,
He's like, I try and hit the bone. I want to hit the bone.
Just get as deep in there as possible.
Go in until you can scratch and then put it in.
If you get it deep, it I find personally, right, if you get it deep,
Yeah.
it disperses well in the muscle. Whereas, for example, on the opposite side, a lot of people use, for example, insulin pins,
Yeah.
and then you just get a layer of oil on top of the muscle. Then
I
when
don't
you
think-
get shredded, so there's no lines.
I don't think anything you're saying sounds unreasonable theoretically, but I mean, Paul's been talking about
Subcutaneous.
different doctors and stuff who've been talking about doing subcutaneous shots, which I never thought made sense. Because I do agree with you, Neil. If the pin you're using is too short, like I've
You
seen,
see it.
I've had it before where in my shoulder, it almost blurred the line between my shoulder and
Well,
my
it seeps out. It
Yeah,
seeps
yeah,
out, right? It can,
Yeah, or you get a little lump.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know about that, Paul. I know a lot of people are talking about that now, but I just it never made sense to me.
That 2-inch idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine if you got an abscess and you'd
That
gone so deep. And they have to fucking cut that motherfucker out.
Cut your shoulder out.
Yeah.
I need a drill.
Well,
that'd be my only fear with going so deep.
Are you, Neil? Are you excited at the new? I feel like it's exciting having like this new thing to chase now. Are you excited about that?
I'm so excited, bro. Like, I feel like my whole life has changed overnight. Like, I've just got like new goals. I wake up in the morning with new goals. I've like, it's the best decision I think I've ever made.
Yeah.
You know, like Ben, back when I came off stage, Ben pulled me and he literally like looked at me straight down the whites of my eyeballs and he said, bro, it's time to do open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he said to me, you look good, but you're presenting your physique on stage at 70% of what you could be.
Yeah.
It's time to do it. And for me, I think I explained to you before, I never wanted to do it because I set a goal to do Olympia. And then once I'd stepped off stage, I felt like it was a weight off my shoulders and I've achieved my goal.
You did it.
I had my medal, I got my coat, I did what I wanted to do.
Yep.
And now I've got this whole new challenge. And I feel like I've gone back 6 years in my life and I'm remotivated and I've got this whole new challenge ahead.
Yeah.
You know, and I wanna do an open show this year to see where I sit, like at the back end of the year.
Yeah.
And then I want to get back to Olympia and open.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think it listen, man, every time I see somebody with that kind of situation, it always is disheartening for me because I'm like, this person took the time to put on X amount of muscle and now they can't display it. They literally have to make it disappear.
Yeah. It must
So,
have
like,
sucked training with those
like
restrictions.
When we did our first podcast together, Neil, I kind of felt bad. I was like, man, this guy, I think I might even said to you, I'm like, dude, you took all this time to get to 240, like add all that muscle. And now you literally can't show it. You're like, nope, I'm
Yeah.
going to discard 20 fucking pounds and walk. It's like, it's almost disheartening to think
But
that
the way Neil was framing it, like he said, was look my best at that weight was the only way you can look at it.
yeah.
Because
Yeah,
if you
true.
think about it, literally, you're like, I'm making my physique look worse by the day right now. And that's what happened. Like especially the last 2 weeks, I was watching him going, like I was there and I was like,
Burning
like,
muscle.
we just, I said to him, I can't even look at your physique until we hit the 215. Like,
Well, I remember there was a period.
What's the point?
I think there was a period after, like I thought he looked his best at like 235 or 240 or whatever, but I think there was a period after 225 where it was too much.
Yeah.
It was just, your body just
well,
couldn't.
Yeah.
I
It's
felt
like
bad actually.
I couldn't even pose. Like
Yeah.
my muscles were so empty. I was
I saw it.
shaking.
Remember, I saw you the day before. We were at
Powerhouse,
what's his name? Fuck.
Elevate,
Powerhouse. Iris.
Iris and
Hide's.
Oh,
Hide, that's it. So Hide in Iris's gym in the posing room, and I remember you were gassed. It was almost like you were running on nerves. Like you looked tired but
Yeah.
excited, and you were just running through your poses. And I'm like, he just
Well,
it
I
didn't.
think that was the worst of the worst because that was the morning after the weigh-in.
Yeah,
So I was kind of like,
Yeah.
like I was absolutely dead, bro, that morning. But you're right. I was that flat. I was doing a side chest and I couldn't even feel my chest. Like you were saying to me, like, don't shake your quad, flex it. And I'm thinking, I can't even feel my quad, bro.
Yeah.
Like it's just a sponge.
It was probably the wrong time to be giving instruction.
But like now I'm posing at 244 and I can just hold my poses.
Yeah.
And like my body's rock hard.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I mean, I was gonna say I felt I actually afterwards, like I kind of, and I even said it with David did the shoot. I kind of felt bad because I didn't really let him have time to process the Olympia. I kind of, he came off stage and like I said, I pulled him aside and went. But there was a couple of things to it. Like one, I know that wasn't his best physique, and I said to him, I can't do more for you. We can't get you leaner and we can't get you bigger.
Right.
Like where do we go from here? Other than, and you can't have an off season. You're just gonna have to stay down here and just keep grinding away. And I don't think you can be any more competitive than you have been this year, really. Yeah. Without just, and the other thing, people talk about health, you know, like he said earlier, like people coming down from the open for health reasons. I felt uncomfortable bringing him down that low in food, even for, I'm not talking about just to make the weight cut. I'm talking about from like 6 weeks out. I'm like, this is a lot of output, not a lot of food. It was just a lot of everything on his body. And I'm like, I'd rather not put his body under that duress and stress anymore to make 215. Yeah. It was a lot the other way, you know? So
I felt like I was doing body slimming, not bodybuilding.
Yeah. Well, anytime, like you describe your training, anytime you're like, well, I can't train too hard because that's got to be a shit feeling.
That's the whole problem with Classic. You know, the restriction, even though it's meant for the right purposes, it restricts training, restricts everything.
Have we seen anybody go from Classic to Open and be successful other than Keon?
Stan.
Stan
Stan,
right.
He just started placing pretty well this year.
He was top five. He was top 5 at a couple shows, right?
Yeah. Reno, I think he came from
Toronto. 2-1-2, didn't he?
What's that, Neil?
Yeah.
Keon went to 2-1-2, not Open.
Yeah, that's right. He went Classic to 212.
Oh, yeah. No, I know that, but I'm just saying went Classic to bodybuilding because I still consider
Open
212.
Okay, sorry.
But Stan's probably the only one that really is placing.
Didn't Brett compete as Classic?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Brett's probably the prime example. But he didn't make it to the Olympia. He wasn't. He didn't pursue Classic first in any real
capacity.
He knew it was just a way to get his pro card, and then he was going to go to Open right away.
I don't know about that. I just know that he made the decision pretty soon after turning pro to shift gears. Yeah.
You know what, though? This is a good example for people watching, because I know a lot of people are like huge Chris Bumstead fans and they want to be Classic and they want to be this and they want to be that. I think it's a great example for people to see that you need to go where your body fits.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be an Open bodybuilder if your physique is made for Classic, and you can't be a fucking Classic bodybuilder if your physique is made for Open. You have to go where you fit. It's like, you know, another good example is Nate. So Nate Epler is also a hostile athlete. He's a 212 competitor, but he's 5'9". And even though he took 5th at the Olympia because his physique is so structured so well.
And he was shredded.
But because he's 5'9" at 212, he's never going to beat some of these guys that are 5'5", 212. You know, they're just too heavily muscled.
They're too compact,
Yeah, so I told him.
Well, I mean, that's kudos to Neil for like winning the damn New York Pro.
Oh no, of course.
Like I said to him, he fucking grew off the New York Pro and then some. He put on a shit ton of muscle.
Listen, it's kudos to both. That's the same thing with Nate, right? Nate won a show and then he took 5th at the Olympia. Like, that's crazy. But if your goal is to keep excelling, you have to be able to look at your physique and go, okay, I'm 5'9", I'm already at the weight cap. Where can I go? Or in Neil's case, I'm losing 10 pounds of muscle to try and make weight. How much better could I be? So I think it's just important for people watching when they're starting at like grassroots level and they're coming up and they want to be a certain class. Sometimes your body and your genetics dictate where you're supposed to be, not your mind. Anyway,
I think you know, on that subject, like, for me, it was really good to be around kind of you, Ben, the team, and have people give me that advice. you know, like that
Yeah.
really good advice, honest advice, not biased advice.
Yeah.
To say, listen, Neil, you are going to be better if you take time out and do open, because no one's ever sat down and said that to me before.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think, yeah, I think you
No.
give it a couple of years. I think that physique could be crazy with 20, 30 more pounds on it.
Well, he doesn't need
'Cause
20. He doesn't need 20 pounds.
Whatever
After
the
Ben said
numbers
that
are,
to me-
you know, but
Sorry,
just
go-
feel,
Go ahead,
Yes,
Neil.
after Ben said that to me after Olympia, like my initial thoughts was like, yeah. I kind of like classic though. Yeah. Then I slept on it and I woke up in the morning and I said, you know what, let's be fucking brave and let's just do it. Because I want to progress, I want to bodybuild, and I'm kind of like fed up of going on the world stage and showing everyone my body at 60% best.
Yeah.
When I'm showing them my body at 100% best on Instagram.
Yeah.
It don't make sense.
Mhm.
Like, and I think there's a lot of value in placing top 10 in an open show versus top 3 in a classic show, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not expecting to go and win my first open show. I want to work my way up the ranks, but if I can present my very best physique, that'll give me a lot more pride than presenting a 60, 70% best in classic.
Yeah.
And then
You know you
keep
look better
progressing,
5
keep
weeks ago.
progressing,
yeah.
and and then eventually I do want to win an open show and get back to Olympia.
Well, I think that's the thing about bodybuilding. A lot of fans that don't compete maybe don't realize this. It's not always about winning. Sometimes you get satisfaction from just knowing this is the best I can be at this moment. Like if you do open, let's say, for example, let's say you do an open show, you take 5th your first time out, but you're extremely pleased with what you've presented. You built your legs up a little bit more. You built your back thickness. You're fucking shredded at 240. You're going to walk off there. Maybe you were 5th and you know you have further to go, but at least you can walk off going, this was the best version of me that I could possibly, and you sleep better at night.
And you can put that photo next to that classic photo and be like, that's a win.
Yeah.
And then you do another open show and put it next to that open show and go, I've won.
Yeah.
And you keep beating yourself until you can beat other people, right?
Neil, do you think classic is just as hard? It's a tough one to answer, right? Because I know a lot of people, it's going to ruffle some feathers, but do you think classic is just as hard as open? Like to break into the top 10 at the Olympia and the open versus to break into the top 10 in the classic Olympia, do you think it's equally as competitive?
I think the open will take more years of training.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes.
I think it will be a lot harder to break the top 10 in open than classic, because I think the standard is far higher.
Let me rephrase the question real quick, just so it's a fair question. Let's take the years of building muscle, because that's obviously harder. It takes a lot longer to build an open level physique. But let's say when you've built the muscle, do you think the open class is harder, equal, or easier than the classic division to break into the top 10?
Like more competitive, you mean?
More competitive, yeah.
I think
because you saw this year, there's like 35 guys on the open Olympia stage.
Yeah.
But there's also like 30 or 40 guys on the classic stage.
I think
There
more.
was
I think there was like
60.
60.
Yeah.
59, 59 with Bumster was number 59.
That's what I'm saying. So
bearing in mind with this answer, the top 10 in classic are all my friends.
Yeah.
I think the top 10 in open was a lot more competitive from 1st to 10th. The gulf was smaller.
I see.
Whereas you've got Chris and Ramon here.
Yes.
And then you've got Urs and Brion. And then you've got Mike Summerfield. And then you had the other 5.
Hey, wait a minute. I have a question for you since we're on that. Where did Terrence end up placing?
Was it 6th?
Really?
How did Terrence slip from 2nd to 6th? What happened there? Anybody know?
I saw him backstage and he just looked a little bit softer in the morning.
Okay.
And very weirdly for Terrence, he was, and I love Terrence, we're good friends. He was a bit shaky in his posing and prejudging.
Like he felt unsure, unconfident, or was he flat, or
All
what was
his muscles weren't full enough to contract. he's like, I've never, ever seen Terence shake when he poses.
Yeah.
But if you watch his pre-judging video, his legs were shaking a little bit. And he didn't feel himself, and he looked a little bit softer. And I did hear him say that his feedback from the judges was he needs to come in harder in the evening.
I see.
But I just think Ramon and hers were so good.
Yeah.
Not that he was so bad.
So he wasn't
think
worse, just the other guys were better.
Yeah.
I think they just rock. I think Ramon was just like went crazy this year.
Yeah.
Hers was a lot better. Brion was sensational. He was really good in person. Like, he looked great.
I don't want to say anything. I don't want to say anything negative about Brion, but we are talking about objectively about physiques. But his legs felt a little bit, even though the thickness was there, they didn't feel very like they had a very big sweep to them.
No, but his midsection was absolutely rock hard. His chest was full. His back was great.
Back.
Let me go to Bodybuilders Without Borders. Maybe
I think it was one of the better Brions I've actually seen, to be honest. I felt like he really went for it this year.
Yeah,
I didn't follow the classic. I was stuck in the booth, so I didn't get a chance to see it. But that's Ramon there. See if I can get a shot of Brion somewhere. That's 212. What do we got here? That's Terrence there. I mean, it's an edited photo. Kind of hard to tell, but yeah, I mean, I don't know if I can tell his conditioning from those photos, but
looks off in those pictures at least.
Yeah. I wonder if there's a Brion photo here somewhere. Nothing.
Maybe go to his page for that.
See what ours looks like.
Ours look great.
Yeah, looks good.
There's a lighting difference though. Do you see that?
Yeah.
See how the lighting, how good the lighting looks here?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like in better condition here, but the lighting looks better on this shot.
Well, isn't that the final stage on the right?
No,
Anyway.
This is last year, isn't it? No, this is
Yeah,
20.
Yeah, but I'm saying
one's last year.
Yes, I know, but I'm saying the one on the right is that not
I
the final stage anyway, rather than the expo stage.
Oh,
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know that. But you can see here his chest looks much fuller.
mm-hmm. It looks like
his legs
really
look a little, legs look a little fuller. So looks good.
Well,
The reason I pointed that out though is just so people, when they're comparing photos, they have to understand that lighting makes a very, very big difference.
for sure.
There's Brion. No, that's not Brion. Oops.
You racist fuck.
No, I knew
Jesus,
somebody. I
Fouad.
knew somebody
Wow.
was going to say it. I knew one of you motherfuckers.
That's near on stage on the left there, 16, right? Is it 8? Yeah.
I mean, your proportions are still good there, but they're all just downsized.
Look at the chest difference, eh? When he's full,
Yeah.
his chest.
See the chest and the shoulders? Yeah. Crazy. Kept your quads though.
Yep. That must have been your best body part, eh? Coming up, your body part to grow.
Yeah, it just weren't really.
Yeah, look at the difference. Look at the difference in this.
The shoulders, the chest.
Yeah,
Mhm.
wow.
My body just goes at that weight.
Mm-hmm.
Who's this? Oh, that's that new Spanish guy.
212 guy, right?
Brazil.
Or Brazilian.
He was probably the most conditioned guy at the Olympia.
Trying to find a fucking lineup here from the classic. Nobody cares about classic. What's wrong with that? Oh, there's Ramon. Ramon looked amazing, but Bumstead just has a structure that can't be beat.
Do you know, as soon as Ramon turned to the back, it was Chris's.
How close is Ramon for his body weight, I wonder?
He was way over. They were having panic stations at the weigh-in.
Yeah,
he's got to be getting close where he's got to go to open pretty soon too.
There's Terrence there. Why does Terrence look so small there?
Sure.
Oh, these are the tallest guys in the lineup. That's
where's the Michael DeBoer?
Yeah.
He's next to 2 6'2" people.
Yeah, that Class FM guy is a big boy.
This guy looks really good. Class FM, is that his name? Class FM, yeah. He looks really good too. I'm surprised he didn't.
Yeah.
Michael DeBoer is probably the most shredded guy in the lineup.
Mm-hmm.
And Wesley Vissers has kind of finally figured out his conditioning too.
He's got such a wide frame on him.
Cambronero, he won the Arnold 2 years ago or 3 years ago. Was it 2 years
Yeah,
ago?
Terrence won the Arnold, and Terrence won the Arnold this year. That's how crazy it is, right?
Yeah.
Both those, and Michael DeBull won the Arnold UK, and they're in the second call out.
Look, Ben, even from the front though, like
Yeah.
it's just from
Oh
here,
yeah,
from here
Different.
up.
but I'm saying it was. But that's what I mean. It was closer from the front than it was the back.
And people keep talking about his biceps. I don't know if anybody in classic really has great arms. I mean, Ramon has great arms, but even his biceps are a little bit like, they're not peaky.
Yeah.
Wait,
There's something going
Brion's
on with
probably got
Chris's.
the best biceps.
I don't think classic. When I think classic, I don't think
I don't think
massive.
arms.
I don't think arms anyway.
Yeah.
So
Something going on with Chris's left bicep there though. In that
that's
picture?
what people are talking about. Chris's bicep having an issue with this bicep.
Looks like it from there.
But even if he is, like, even if it's torn or whatever it is, like, it's not changing anything.
It's
No.
funny because his quads are so torn up and different as well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But it actually helps him. It's kind of like my hamstring when it was.
It gives
torn.
him It gives him more detail.
Yeah.
But it's just it's this box right here, the fucking
Yeah.
framing of the front lat with the tiny little waist. It's like it creates this illusion that nobody else has.
Hmm.
Yeah, mind blowing.
Oh, here-
Even crazier in person.
There's Brion. Okay, so this is 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is Mike the Badass, right? Yeah. Okay. That's
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
that's the best condition he's been in as well, Mike.
Wait, I want to
You
go
look
back.
great.
I want to go back to the start here. 1 second. I just want to take a look at this. So let's take a look at the front double. Yeah, fucking Urs is just crazy, eh? Like this is, and his his presentation is really good too.
Yeah,
So I see what you're saying about Brion. He looks really good. So he was 4th,
I think so.
Neil.
I think so, yeah. And Mike was 5th.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how
Yeah.
I would. If I was judging, that's out of this shot, I would have Urs then Brion. Yeah.
Yeah. That's how it went.
Brion just looked so hard, lean, and full
You know what I
when
wonder?
you were there in person.
You know what I wonder sometimes? I don't know if you guys can see this, but Urs has really good lats from the front. And is he making himself look smaller by turning sideways?
The twist that he's doing,
Like it's a really nice presentation, but I wonder if like
if you hit it straight on.
yeah, because
Yeah,
his
that taper, but the taper into the hip is crazy when he does it like that.
yeah.
I think he's doing it to make the waist look smaller with the vacuum, isn't he?
Yeah, but from straight on, he might have more of an X to. I don't know. I have to see it both ways.
You see what he just
That's
see what he
good
just
shit.
did there? He had the hamstring flexed and then he just let it go so it would thicken up.
Yeah.
That's
Get more
crazy.
hang.
So side chest.
I've had too many people try and do that. They try and flex the hamstring on the side shots.
Yeah.
I think he's got it kind of flexed there. That's why it's not sitting like this guy's.
If you just relax it and
It just lights up like a Christmas tree under those lights, doesn't he?
I feel like
Yeah.
Brion's winning the shot though.
From the side, his legs look a lot better from in front, eh?
Well,
Yeah.
his shoulder is capped off too.
Hmm.
Like all this looks really good. Chest is thick.
I was really happy to see Brion because a lot of people were saying on the podcast, like, he's not going to make top 5, and he proved everyone wrong.
Look at that. Look at Brion's condition.
Yeah. Hamstrings and glutes are in too.
Look
Yeah,
at
he
that.
looked
Look
great,
at,
man.
Look
He
at
looked
this.
great.
And he knows it too, eh? He's digging those
Yeah.
elbows back as far as possible.
Look at where's his conditioning too. Jeez.
See, this is a rookie mistake. He's already in the pose.
Yeah.
And Brion's still showing his fucking his erectors. Look how
They're
slow
all-
Brion's taking his time, man. He fucking knows. He's like, his shit's peeled.
These guys are all great condition, eh? All three of them.
This is another thing I noticed in this too, Paul. I don't know if you can comment as a judge, but Chris does it. I noticed Chris does it and Ramon. So this is the same as Chris and Ramon in this pose. Chris leans back, almost angling down to show the judges more.
Hmm.
And Ramon, like Urs is here, stays straight up to show full detail of the back.
Yeah, Urs wasn't in full pose yet, though. I don't think
Once-
right when you pause
That's full
right
pose.
there.
But you see how far Brion's leaning back? So I just want
Yep.
to ask you, as a judge, when you look at that, which guy is your eye drawn to? Like, does this show more or does this show more?
I think if you've got the lats, like I prefer the way Urs is doing it, provided that you've got the back to hit that shot.
The width,
if-
yeah.
If you want to give the illusion of more width, then it might be more beneficial to do it the way that Brion's doing it. But I think if you've got that extra from the back, then I prefer the way Urs does it.
Really? Because I think like, and I'm not disagreeing with you. Obviously, you're the pro judge. I just think
I'm just telling my preference. That's all.
no. I was just kind of trying to think through it theory wise.
To be honest, I like the way Mike's hitting it the best out of the three. Sorry to cut you off, but
Really,
the way Mike's hitting, yeah, because it's kind of in between the two of them.
I feel
the
like
only-
the way Brion's hitting it shows the thickness of the back, and it actually makes his waist look smaller because he's leaning back on it.
but I think you sacrifice some detail in the lower back.
In the picture you do, but I'm saying when you're sitting in the judge's pit down here, does it still look that way to you?
Yeah, because you're kind of crunching your back, you know?
I see. Yeah. Okay.
Like I look at the way I think, like Mike looks more open to me than the way he's hitting it.
Who do you think's winning the shot right here? Because I have Breon winning the shot.
Do you?
Yeah.
I can't see all the detail of Breon's back with that lighting like that, though. I'm sure it's different in person, but I like Mike in that shot. You know, I think his back looks great there, but I can't see all Breon's detail there though in that lighting.
Look at
edge forward.
I like Urs in that shot for sure. Urs looks crazy in that shot.
Look at the fucking waist to quad ratio. Jeez.
Yeah. I think Urs is the next, maybe, you know, probably Chris's predecessor.
You think so?
Of all the guys that I see right now, and I think Urs still has room in his weight too to work with.
Look at this shot on Urs.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Breon does look really good though, Neil. It's like one of his best peaks. I mean.
Yeah.
I was really happy to see Breon bring it because it was his last one, weren't it? And he went out and did himself proud.
You know what? I always do, because Breon for some reason not for some reason. I think it's because he battled with Chris and Chris is a fan favorite, but I think Breon takes a lot of shit unnecessarily.
Yeah, he's a nice guy as well. He doesn't take himself too seriously. He's always laughing and joking, and you know, he's a good ambassador.
It's funny who the fans decide they're gonna hate and who they're gonna like. Sometimes it doesn't make sense to me. Like I don't know, because Breon is like the nicest guy I've met, and somehow he just gets like ripped apart.
So cool.
Yeah. Look at Ramy. Although, you know,
Ramy's another one.
She's the nicest guy in the world.
Yeah, but Ramy.
Question.
Sorry, go ahead, Neil.
I'm going to say, to answer your question that you asked about the top 10, I think the open top 10 was a lot tighter. Like, you know, like from like Hunter, could Hunter have been sixth? Could Andrew have been seventh?
Yeah.
Could Ian have been 10th?
Yeah.
It could Crizzo have crept in. It was so tight. You could have probably jiggled that 3 to 10 and no one could have argued.
I would go even further. I would go even further than that, Neil. I think even 1st through 10th could all with a few small tweaks, a lot of things could have been different.
Yeah.
Like if Nick won, could you say anything? Probably not.
No.
Well, I think once they had like Derek and Hattie in the top 2, Nick had to be 3 because they were the most conditioned 3 in that field, right? And then they had to put one after that. Once they started rewarding condition, that took precedent, and then everyone else kind of fell in line after that. Right?
I didn't think they were rewarding condition as much they were rewarding a combination of condition and shape.
I think shape.
Right? I thought shape was a really big deal because I thought, you know, in previous Olympias, Nick would have won that show.
Well, you say that
based off the history of the Olympia since I've been competing, Nick would have won that show because Nick was the biggest, hardest, most symmetrical on the stage. But I think because
most symmetrical.
I didn't mean aesthetic. I mean symmetrical. Like he's very balanced, right?
Yeah.
He's not unbalanced, is he?
He is the same left to right.
Yeah, like he's got a very balanced physique. He's just not aesthetically pleasing shape-wise. So I think because they're making a push to shape, that's where Derek and Hadi jumped in. But I think if you looked at bodybuilding between 2000 and 2015, Nick would have won that. Nick would have been the Mr. Olympia.
Size and freakiness was winning over shape.
Over Phil.
No. I'm saying if that criteria. I'm not saying over Phil. I'm saying if the criteria.
If that lineup had been in.
No. I'm not
judging standard.
I'm not comparing bodybuilders, Ben. I'm saying if the criteria.
No, you're saying you say that lineup. That whole lineup. 2010.
I'm saying.
I thought you meant if you take him and put him in 2011. I'm like,
no.
I'm going to argue with you on that one.
Yeah.
No, not at all. I'm saying if the judging criteria, because Olympia judging criteria, and James has said it many times, has always been size is one of the main components of what they look for, right? And I think Nick was very conditioned, has more muscle than Derek and Hadi.
Yeah. And
is very balanced. The only thing they beat him on was shape. So I think the Olympia is making a concerted effort to say we're pushing shape. Right?
Yeah.
But the only thing that confuses me about that is if that is the case, then I would have had Samson fourth.
Samson, I think is, and that's what I was going to say. I think Samson's
Brandon
the best
has good.
combination.
Brandon has good shape. So maybe you could have said.
But Samson condition was not close though.
As close to
I
Nick's.
wouldn't say that, man.
From the back,
Listen,
he was.
if you took away the glutes, his condition was the same as everybody else.
Lower back, glutes, hands was not.
Yeah, maybe I'm biased because I love Samson.
I think
I
Samson
know,
has the best
dude.
combination.
I'm just trying to be as
I know. I'm going to take a look because
analytical as possible. I love Samson.
I want to be objective. I want to be objective. Too.
If Samson cracks, if Samson's in shape, he beats. In my opinion, he beats everyone.
I think he's got the best combination of size and shape.
Wait a minute. Let's take a look at this because I think condition wise, if you took out the glutes,
right?
I don't think Samson's condition is as far off as everybody thinks it is.
I agree. I think it's more.
It's just the glutes people are looking at because Samson's glutes don't get striated, so people are using that as.
For me, it was the glutes and the lower back and upper back.
All right, let's take a look.
I love. I don't get me wrong. I absolutely love.
No. I know that.
I'm dying for him to get it nailed on because everyone's fucked. If it happens.
When I
look
look
at his hamstrings there, though.
Yeah, his hamstrings are.
Yeah, so from the glute, but go from the glute up to that where the scapula are.
Yeah,
right?
I mean it's the same as this though. No.
Well, maybe the glutes are a bit harder.
Too.
Let's go. Wait. Open up.
Samson's not really flexing his glutes there, though. He's more separating his hamstrings.
No, he's not. And he talked to me about it. He's not flexing them on purpose because he knows they weren't striated. So he was like, I wanted to make my adductors look as thick as possible because I knew my hamstrings were stripped.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, you can have the shredded glute, but I have everything else.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if I look at this pose, he's not wrong. Like his back is just as lean as Rami's.
It's just maybe not as dense as Rami's yet. I think when he gets
leaner.
Look, man, I would say that's equal conditioning minus the glute.
But I don't think Rami was in good condition to.
Who would you give that pose to?
Samson.
I would give it to Samson because I don't think you can win this pose without having any lats.
No, it's almost like Rami's pinching his shoulders, not opening up there.
Let's see the
He
back.
wasn't opening up. That was very strange.
See, this is what Samson's look like. His glutes look like flexed, so they get hard, but they don't get stripped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Rami's got him in the glute, obviously, because he striated. But then when you get into the shot, okay, now look at this. So
but look at the lower back, though.
Wait for Rami to get into it. Okay, there. So yes,
who'd you give that to?
Samson.
Me too.
I would give that to Samson too. His hamstrings are stripped. His back is fully developed.
Rami just got something going on there where he's not opening up.
And Rami's got a lot of lumps and pimples.
I think Rami's not opening up on purpose because the lats aren't there, so he's trying to make it look thick as possible. Maybe.
Oh, is that why? Okay, maybe.
I don't take my word for it. I'm just guessing, right?
Yeah, something looks off though the way he's hitting that pose. But Samson, a little bit more density on Samson's lats. I think his back will look harder because of the added density. I think he's gonna. That's the only thing for me Samson needs to do to be Mr. Olympia, add a little bit more back.
I think Ben could be right. I think think this could be a little bit drier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
like,
look, I mean,
if he hits like a Christmas tree, it's not as stripped as you'd imagine from like a Roden or Phil when they were, prime winning Olympia titles.
I think Samson's getting leaner with each show.
Yeah.
And I think this that will come in.
Samson, I think he's a new face right now, in that top 5 or 6. I think they're going to make him pay his dues a little bit before.
Conditioning from the front, I would say, is equal.
Yes, as I said, from the front he was great, but from the back, it's where I think he really
needs a bit more.
Yeah.
But I mean, look, this isn't a conditioning show overall. Would anybody be upset if Samson beat Rami?
No,
I think he should.
No, not that one, but certainly not Brian. He wasn't going to push into that top 4 with just size and shape alone.
I wonder if I can find a thing with him and Brandon.
I'd like to see that comparison.
Yeah,
I don't think Rami beat Samson in any pose.
I don't think so either.
I think they kept Rami in the top 5 because he was a previous Mr. Olympia.
Out of respect.
There's certainly
check this out. Check this out.
But a lot of things that I'm seeing is that Rami looked way better week out.
Yeah, Brandon looked really good.
Brandon's harder.
Yeah, Brandon's harder.
And look at the abdominals.
And he was
the quads.
He was super full too.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think Samson should have.
I wish we could see like a proper, but yeah, Brandon looked really good.
Look at Hadi there.
Ooh, Hadi, I don't think gives up any size to Nick.
Oh my god.
Look at Hadi's chest.
I think what Hadi and Nick trade is back thickness. Hadi is better than him from the front, but I think Nick has a better back than Hadi.
Really? Yeah.
Only in this show. I don't think overall,
Okay.
but I think in this show we didn't get trademark Hadi conditioning.
Okay.
No, but did you hear what Hani said? So apparently in the morning, he was the best he'd ever looked was the Friday morning. And then by
Really?
the time we got them on for prejudging, it was like 10:30 at night. No one was as sharp as they were earlier in the day. It was a nightmare to keep them. You know, I've got like hunters like fucking 8 or 9 meals deep at that point because it's been such a long day.
Yeah.
Look how good he is. Look at
Was it scheduled to be that late, Ben, or is it just running behind?
Look at
It's always on pretty late, but that was running late because you had all the other classes for prejudging.
Yeah.
They had 4 classes on before the finals, and the fitness girls had all routines. Like it was all just a busy prejudge.
Neil. This is what you have to compete with.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking.
Look at his fucking legs. They
There's
touch. They touch like almost down to his fucking knees. There's
no thigh gap there, right?
nothing. Look at this. And his lats just perfect.
Jeez.
Arms nice and round.
You couldn't fit another ounce of muscle anywhere on that body.
But I will say, if you look at the conditioning from the front compared to the back, I was really, you know what I was really hoping to see, because I had heard so much about Hadi's conditioning that I was I waited to see like this crazy. And then when he walked out, Jose has seen him before, I guess. So Jose said, "Oh, he's not as hard as he is and been in the past."
Yeah.
Oh, really?
But he was much fuller and bigger. So I think.
But that's what I'm saying. He was as hard as he was in the morning.
Oh, okay. And then he softened up.
If you go to another show and he's on at 10 in the morning,
see, look,
prejudging,
but this
versus
is
10 at night here.
But this is what I'm talking about. I feel like his back is as thick as Nick's, but I feel like Nick displayed it better because he was in better condition.
Doesn't it look to you like he's got more oil on his legs than his back there?
Yes.
Yeah.
It looks like he was laying down or something and it just dried up.
Yeah, I wonder if with more oil that would have showed more detail.
But you understand what I'm saying? We're doing 2 nighttime shows.
No. I got it.
We used to seeing guys. No, I'm explaining for everyone else.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
We used to seeing people get on stage in the morning.
Yeah.
After like 1 or 2 meals, and they're sharper. They're real sharp. By the time, you know what it's like, by the time the evening comes around and you're going to bed at 10 o'clock at fucking night, you're a little softer than you were in the morning because of just food volume and being around and awake all day.
Yeah.
You always wake up sharper and crisper.
Always.
All of these open guys look better, I promise you, in the morning than they did the evening.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, so you guys tell me what you think. Is this sharper? Is this back better or sharper than Nick's? I think I saw him up here somewhere. There he is. So I think peak wise, I actually think Nick peaked better.
That's impressive.
But I think shape wise is where Hadi beat him.
I don't know why he does that with his most muscular, by the way. He has his hands so low on his most muscular.
I felt like his posing was a little different this year, but he's still like that. Like this felt like it was too crunched.
Bringing the elbows in a little bit
like
there too.
His arms are too far forward, but I want to see when he goes to the back because I think his back actually looked
so much muscle there. Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus, Nick's side poses are crazy.
Yeah.
I think that's the best side chest he's ever done, isn't it?
Yeah. Nick has yet to miss a peak, I think. He always comes in condition and full.
Yeah.
Here we go.
So this is what I'm talking about.
I think he's got Hadi on the hamstrings and glutes.
I agree.
Oh,
we missed
it.
But Hadi's got him from the front, I think, on shape for sure.
Well, I think that's where he beat him with shape.
Yeah.
I think Hadi's just got them crazy striations on the quads and the chest, hasn't he?
His chest is nuts when he hits that most muscle.
He's just striated to hell, cross-striated across the chest and the quads. Whereas with Nick's age,
so
maybe you'll get that in a few years.
Yeah.
We skipped over Derek, so we'll take a look at Derek. Immediately, the thing that jumps out to me is the fucking density on Hadi. It's kind of like if they were going for shape, Hadi has shape, but then you add the muscularity, and I don't think Derek had enough to overcome him.
Not yet, at least.
You guys kind of agree with that?
Yep, for sure.
Yeah.
I think
he had a good go at it, but Hadi's just got more density.
I think
What do
the major the
But-
major difference is I think is the legs though. You can
What do you
see,
think
like-
about, sorry to cut you off, but
No, go ahead.
well, the way Derek's hitting that pose, his legs.
Well,
What?
you know, not Hadi,
Milos?
Milos has made mention of as to why his legs are so wide. Maybe it's just comfortable for him. Maybe he thinks that's what looks best. Maybe he's tried it narrow and it didn't look as good.
Yeah, it could be. It just looks a little off. You know,
know
like
how
the
it-
way,
Paul, you know how it is when you're posing, right? You try like 16 different like versions of the same pose.
yeah.
Maybe he thinks that looks best on him.
Yeah, I just wonder if he did it more the way Hadi's doing it there. Even the way he's kind of leaning back a little bit too, where Hadi's more straight on. I wonder if that would change the pose a little bit for him.
The straight on thing I could see. I always leaned forward when I did it. Some guys lean back. I think the leaning back still looks good on Derek and I think Derek doesn't have a crazy sweep. He's got thick legs, but he doesn't have like sweepy legs.
Mhm.
So I think if he put them together, it might not match the upper body width.
Give him another year though. That's going to be nuts by next October.
Oh, of course.
Because
of
he's
course.
still his trajectory. Like Hadi is pretty leveled off by now. He's showing
Yeah.
up pretty consistently. Like it's close. There's a few improvements, but it's pretty close. Derek is just making tremendous improvements every year.
How old is Derek? Isn't he like 29,
He's in
28?
his 20s. Yeah,
I don't even know if he's 30. Yeah.
28. I think he's 28.
What's Hadi? Is Hadi in his 40s?
Look at this shot. Jesus.
Oh,
It's
that
literally-
one of the best.
It's literally just legs. I think Hadi's got him in the legs.
Yeah.
Derek's got everything
The
else.
waist to lats
Yeah.
on Derek, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, the front double's crazy.
It's a little bit like Chris Bumstead, isn't it? Like we were saying earlier.
Guys, I'm telling you, man, I was sitting there and when he opened up into that front double, it's like me and Ben compare it to Keon.
Oh yeah.
He looks like this, and then he does a front double and he fucking goes like this.
Yeah, everything comes up here.
We could me and Jose were fucking losing it. Like it's
His back double by is crazy too, like that.
Yeah.
side chest. I mean, he's close.
Shit.
It's really just
Shit, that's
Yeah.
that's very close.
That's
It's his
very
quads
close.
from the front. It's his quads from the front, right?
it's this.
Mhm.
Yeah, that this thickness is too overwhelming.
Yeah.
There's not a lot in these other
Chest.
shots. This
He's-
is very similar.
Very similar.
They're close. Yeah.
And from the back, I think he's got him.
I think he's got him in the back
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
You've got him
Well,
from the back.
glutes are harder. I mean, yes, going back to what I said, it's a picture,
Black.
so you know.
Yeah.
No, in person, his glutes like in this is pretty accurate compared to what it was like in person.
What was the scores? You know how close it was?
I think it
I
was
think
one
Derek-
point. Wasn't it one
No,
point?
no, it was a little more than that. It was a little
was?
more. It's up on the thing. Yeah.
Is
It was
it?
it consistent for
Well,
prejudge and final?
it looked like Nick was in second in a couple of cards because
I think Nick was
it
one
was
point.
mixed. Yeah.
Yeah, somebody said it was 1 point between somebody. I can't remember.
Yeah,
who it
Nick was pretty close to them. I think there was a couple of judges that gave Nick second over Derek.
This is a
Who'd
really, this is a
you
really
give in
great
that
back shot.
pose?
Oof.
Well,
Derek.
I give that to
mean,
Derek.
I wouldn't.
Yeah,
I give it to
overall.
Hot. I give it to Hottie.
You would
Hardy's back is and traps. Everything's denser and thicker.
Dude,
but
look at that. So there's more detail here because he's more conditioned, but the level of fucking thickness here is just ridiculous.
for sure. But what
Yeah.
Derek's waist is smaller, a little bit more detail, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, it's one against Derek, but Hadi looks thicker for sure.
I think
So what does Derek need to do to beat Hardy next year? More quads, more chest.
more quad, more adductor. I think personally,
yeah,
and he
and a little
just
thicker in the back. But
and there's also Hottie. Not you can't see it in this pose, but from the front especially, Hottie has a level of density that Derek doesn't have yet.
Yeah. Is that maturity, you think, or is that more muscle?
Yeah. I mean, how old's Hottie? He's much older, right?
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
I think Hadi might be 40 or so.
Like you can see the level of density in the muscle and how thick
Yeah.
and like hard it looks compared.
But I'm telling you, that's what I mean. If Derek does another year again, and then
Yeah.
a year again after that, because he's not coming out of the top five.
Yeah.
The
I
guy's
agree.
not coming out of the top five.
I
For
agree.
sure.
I agree. Yeah. See here, you can see it here, Neil.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can see the density, can't you?
Yeah.
It's not even the striations. It's just the texture of the muscle is much harder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's just more years in the gym, probably.
You can see the separation.
And more preps,
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
And look at the
More preps, more diets.
look at the separation between the shoulders and how thick
Mhm.
they are compared to the separation here. It's kind of smooth across.
Yeah.
If you,
Just,
I wonder how many shows total Derek has done compared to Hadi. I bet it's I bet it's half as many.
if
and that
not
does-
more, probably. Because Hadi probably
Yeah.
competed in the Middle East for a long time.
This is a crazy shot for Hottie, man. He looks
I
nuts.
listened to an interview with Derek once, and he was saying that I think from when he won Tampa, he's done just Olympia every year.
Look at him. Look at him just standing
Yeah.
there. See the difference though? Look at the legs.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
where that's where the difference.
But that front relax, that's hard to have a good front relax. Look at that. That's unreal from Derek.
No, I
The
know,
shape,
but that's what I'm
shape
saying.
of a front relax is just
If you look from the waist up, this is insane. But then if you covered the top of his body with your hand, that's not Mr. Olympia legs. It's close.
Agreed.
Yeah.
It's close, but
From the waist up, it's crazy.
yeah.
And the hamstrings and glutes from the back are world class.
I also said to somebody, I think it was just Hottie's overall balance, because if you see this, it looks like Derek is much better from the top than the bottom. Whereas if you look at Hottie, he's very balanced all around.
Yeah.
He's very even everywhere. We're basically just watching the Olympia with everybody.
What a top six that is, though, man. Like,
yeah, people need to understand too. When we're making critiques, this is being extremely nitpicky.
For
These
sure.
guys are fucking insane.
Samson's quads are
everyone's
crazy.
insane
Man.
in that lineup.
Yeah.
Samson doesn't get any credit for his quads. They're crazy.
His quads are
And his
fucking nuts.
adductors. His adductors are huge.
Yeah.
From the back, those back shots where his adductors are coming through.
Yeah.
That's hard. That's a lot of tissue to be able to do that.
When Brandon came out, I was absolutely blown away at how big he was. And then the detail kind of hurt him a bit. But we want to talk about, I remember talking to a couple people at the show and how long the show was and what they wanted, what they could do about it. And something came up today.
Did Chris Aceto fall asleep?
He probably did. This is JM's page. And apparently this is the new qualifying rules for next year. There's no more points. It's winner of each contest in the top 5. I wish they would get rid of this, get rid of the top 5. But at least they took a step and got rid of the points. So now it's just winner of each contest.
Yeah.
So they've taken away a few people from the Olympia. But I think if they made it just the winner only qualifies, it would be even better. Take away a few more.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or I could do with top 3. I could deal with top 3 and winners.
I think winner only. I think you win, you get to go on. Everybody else, fuck you. You got to requalify.
It makes the other shows more interesting.
Is that a 10-month season there then?
Yeah, because it's
this
November.
year.
It's in November. Yeah.
So how many do you estimate would be an open?
Well, they're probably gonna have 2 shows a month on average.
So 20.
So 25 potentially.
25 with because people that qualified already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So probably
Hopefully
get
we're a
20.
lot better.
But I don't know. It could be less than 2 a month because I know they're not doing Boston this year. I know they're not doing Indy this year.
Oh
I
yeah.
think not Boston. It's on the list. Are they taking it off?
I don't know. This is what Jose said because I said I wanted to go to Boston.
Well, yeah. Well, this is the thing. I know that Indy is not happening because of Dave, but like Dave announced it, but it's on the list as well. So who knows? The list isn't still, and the Olympia is still listed as Vegas. So the list is probably not up to date.
What I heard from Jose was that Boston wasn't happening, and then I saw somewhere else that Indy wasn't happening.
I know Indy's not happening.
But who knows if they made that up with 2 other shows? So I don't know.
Right. Yeah. Because possibly Detroit.
Yeah, that's right. Detroit's happening, and so I don't know how many shows there are this year, but that's one of the things too they could do is reduce the amount of shows. That way they'd be more interesting.
No,
I think
because
it'll
they
be
get
more prestigious as well.
What's that, Neil?
I think it'll be more prestigious as well.
Well, this is why I've been saying to get rid of the top 5 qualifying, because if you took out second, third, fourth, fifth, and made them requalify, think about it. That means Rami would have to do a show somewhere, Brandon would have to do a show somewhere, Nick would have to do another show, Derek would have to, and those shows would be extremely popular. Then.
Those would be big draws. Yeah.
Yeah, people would want to watch.
You know, from someone who did the show, like with there being like 65 or 60 in Classic, it was a nightmare backstage. It didn't feel like Olympia. It felt like a regional amateur show backstage for so many people. And it was like we were meant to go on at 9, and at 9:30, at 9 o'clock, me and Ben were just chilling, and everyone said, "Right, Classic, you're on at 9:10. All 60 of you get in a line."
Jesus.
Yeah.
And no one had pumped up. So I was pumping up with a band. Ben will tell you, I had 2 minutes to pump up. Donise were tanning me, and Ben were going, "Pump up more, mate, pump up more." And then we were on stage, and they said we had 45 seconds. Sorry, my voice is because of the flu. But they said we had 45 seconds, and then they cut us off after 30.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. You don't get a fair look either.
Yeah, I think
it
I
was
mean,
just like Olympia should be like the most special show in the world, shouldn't it?
Mhm.
And you know, like I think 6 is too many. Like you
Mhm.
know,
the only other thing they could do is do it like the Arnold, where it's an invitational.
yeah.
That's a good idea.
I don't think it's a great idea personally. I think if you win a show, you should get to go. But if they're gonna continue to have, 20 shows throughout the year plus 5
Right.
people that are requalified, then you're never going to get the numbers down.
Well, there's probably more classic than there is open
And
shows
plus,
because sanction fees less.
I saw an interesting thing here too. Why is this the case that top 3 from all other 2022 divisions?
So somebody who wants to jump over.
No. But my point is, like, why would they allow top 3 from classic? Like,
Well,
why do they want 60 people there?
Or do they mean like for the other, like only open bodybuilding top 5 qualify, for all the other divisions top 3 qualify?
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
that's
I'm
right.
sorry. You're right. I read that wrong. I apologize.
Yeah.
That's my fault. So you have to win it. You still have to win a show, but there's way more classic shows, and there's way
And
more
there is
bikini
open.
shows, and another thing too is I got to think as a business, it can't be great for them because they pay for all these people to fly in, and they pay for their track suits.
That's exactly what I said. And if they're going to save money with less open guys or less competitors, period.
Mr. Olympia
Yeah,
pays
the
for all
same as-
competitors?
I think with the 2022 Olympia,
Yeah.
was it like a 13 or 14 month season?
Yeah, it was
of
a longer
COVID
season,
and
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, it
So,
wasn't
like,
Yeah.
there's definitely going to be dramatic because there's no points, and we're losing 4 months of competitions.
Right.
So
you're only
there
losing,
is going to be drastically less people.
you're
No,
only losing
because we were in December. Because the last year was a long year. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
So I get what you're saying.
This is
And
a
a
short
lot of
year.
people might win 2 or 3 shows and take other people's places as well.
True.
maybe in classic and open that only happens a few times.
It doesn't happen like it used to, where you'd have Durham Charles.
Well, I
winning
think
all the, small shows.
some guys will do 2 shows. Maybe it's not often you see somebody just go and take, like
Yeah.
Durham Charles or Michael Lockett or somebody who wins like 4 or 5 small shows.
Yeah.
It's got to be less participants this year, surely.
Yeah, it's a shorter
think-
season too, moving the
I think
Olympia up to
there's only-
November.
I think there's only 2 ways to do it personally. I think you have to reduce the amount of shows or just make it an invitational.
Yeah,
So
invitational. Yeah, I like that idea,
You
but
can't
it
do
leads,
invitation.
because it leads to the accusations of discrimination. Maybe.
You can't do.
I'm not saying it's a great
invitational.
idea, but the thing is, if you do less shows, because it's 2 ways to look at it, right? They're doing more shows to collect more money for promoters, more money
Right.
for more sanction fees. They do all that, right?
More opportunities for athletes.
But then it kind of hurts them anyway, because then when it gets to the Olympia's got to pay for all these people to fly in,
Right.
pay for their hotels, their flights, their tracksuits, like all
And if
that.
they're still making money, so be it. But maybe just need to expand the weekend to 3 days. Like North Americans is 4 days, 5 days.
Well, I know.
I'm
it's
telling you
over-
now that the Olympian week is exhausting for like it's not like a normal show.
Yeah.
There's so much, like the week starts for them like obligated, and it's all day, and then they're on at night. It's fucking brutal. That
Yeah,
because of
well,
all the
there's press conference, and then there's meet and greet, and then there's like the whole fucking
weigh-ins.
Yeah.
you need the press conference. So like, does that a big thing or what?
Oh, I really don't like the way they've been doing the press.
I don't like it
conferences, man.
either.
A press conference are weird.
No, you know
what do you
what?
need it for?
I feel like they've changed the press conference to make it like entertainment.
Yeah,
But
it's not.
bodybuilding is not WWE or UFC.
Hey, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
nobody's fighting each other.
I heard the production staff exactly say, they told Hunter, we want to build personalities and characters for the fans. Because
Yeah,
Hunter was like, that was like some WWE bullshit.
Right,
They went,
yeah.
that's exactly what we're trying to do.
But wait a minute, this is
I don't know if that's
God,
immediate. That's the way to do it, though.
This hurts my head. So if you're trying to build personalities, that's not done the day before the show. Like it's
Mhm.
not UFC where they're like squaring off and they're going to talk shit and then someone's going to punch someone in the face. they're just bodybuilding. So it's like I feel personally, and I don't know if anybody else shares this thought, but it almost reduces the prestige of the show
Yeah,
when you try and make them look like characters they're not.
looks silly.
Like
Why not?
meatheads,
Why not?
like angry
Yeah.
meatheads, as
Like
well.
angry
Yeah,
meatheads,
yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
And why not increase the prestige of the show? Build their characters beforehand, like they're doing with Olympia TV and all that. Like they're having them on there. They're introducing them. They're telling their personality, showing their personalities, talking to them. That's all great. When they're at the show, why not increase their prestige like they used to by putting them behind a table with their name, and they all have a microphone, or they pass around a microphone and everybody gets to talk for a couple minutes. So.
You could hear a pin drop when Banks won men's physique, right?
Dude, I love that guy's physique.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I love that. I remember at the Arnold, I think he won the Arnold, right? Because I think I interviewed him. I think
he won the Arnold this year.
His back is nuts. Like, I was not shocked at all. Not that I follow men's physique well, so I don't really know too much about it, but like, incredible physique.
These men's physique guys are big.
Yeah, I know.
Some of these guys are bigger than classic.
There's no weight cap.
Right, exactly.
As long as they get the shorts on, go nuts.
And you can see some of them have quads busting out of those shorts. Like some of these guys are bigger than the classic guys.
I wonder why they don't do classic. Probably can't make weight. Neil, maybe you should do physique.
Fucking Neil would
do physique.
With the quad sweep would be out here and fucking shorts are exploding. But
hey, guess what? I actually did physique once.
Did you?
Did you?
Yeah, there's photos on my Instagram.
Really? How far down?
Yeah.
No, it's gonna be a long way down.
No, you could find it probably in a minute.
I'll keep looking while we talk. How's your girl, man? Is she still sick, or is she okay now?
She's better, and she's given me. So she's like 80%. I'm like 60%. But she was bad, bro. Bro, she slept 11 hours on the flight. She slept 4 hours drive home, and then 2 days and 2 nights she didn't leave bed.
Dude, your girlfriend's the best. All she does is sleep and eat.
Yeah, she rocks, man.
That picture you set with her face down. That's how she feels right now.
Bro, she fell asleep. Bro, she had a massive burger. She was like, "Oh, I'm so ill, I can't eat. I'm gonna get a Burger King." She had a Burger King, and then just went, and then I was like tapping her head. Flights leaving.
I can't get my girl to eat Burger King. She won't do it.
I don't think my wife would eat Burger King.
My wife won't eat any fast. Actually, I can't think of any fast food she'll eat.
No,
she'll eat McDonald's pancakes.
I've never had a pancake at McDonald's before. I don't think.
They're good. They're pretty good for fast food pancakes. They're not like, obviously they're not great pancakes, but
did Summer enjoy the meal at Chow?
I didn't. I think she did. I didn't. I was.
You didn't eat anything, bro. You were just drinking. I had all your food.
I didn't want to ruin my buzz. No, there's 2 reasons. I don't like sharing, and I don't. So that's number 1. I'm sorry, excuse me, I'm selfish. But when I have a meal I like, if like that, those sushi rolls came out, I could have ate the whole fucking thing. I didn't want to share them. I was like, I just want all the sushi rolls. So that bothered me. And I also didn't like the way the tables were set up.
Oh,
so for people who don't know, we had a team dinner at Chow nightclub. And we had it catered for we had it booked for like 30 people. And like 25 showed up, and we sat around, but they put like 4 circle tables out, so we all couldn't like kind of sit together. It was really strange. So then I had them put the tables together, but it still was fucked up because they're circle tables. So we lost a bunch of seats in the middle. And then the dinner was on a, what do they call it? Like a family style menu. So they just keep bringing out food.
It just kept coming.
Yeah, they just keep bringing out food, and then you pass it around. You share all the food. It's just not my thing. No, I mean, last year at the Arnold's, this past Arnold's, that was the best way to do it. We had a separate room with a table that everybody could sit at, and then everybody ordered their own steak.
I mean, there was only like 15 of us though. Then it's easier when you've got 30 people.
Yeah, but we still would have had the same room. We would have just had 2 tables instead of 1.
Yeah, but the ordering process would have been a fucking nightmare.
Hey Ben, me and Becky were in our element, because on the table it were me, Becky, Hollingshead, Fouad, Justin, and
Jasmine.
Yeah. But James, Fouad, and Justin was having a drinking contest. So they were
You
just,
see all the
so
food.
basically there was enough food for 6 people, but only me and Becky were eating it.
Yeah. Once he started, he's right. That's why I laughed, because when he said I didn't want to kill my buzz, when he starts drinking, he's like, I don't want any food because it will reset me.
Yeah.
Mate,
It'll sober me up. So to do it.
for 4 hours didn't stop eating. It was like sushi, chicken, beef, everything.
was amazing.
Like no one on our table was eating. And
It's
I
funny.
was just like, this is the best meal I've ever had in my life.
So the meals would come out and we would pass them around. They would be polite and they would pass them around the table. But because the 3 of us were drinking, they would end up back in front of them.
Yeah.
And Becky and Neil were just fucking going to town.
And that was my first meal post show.
So you were
So
happy
I was
with it.
starving. So I was just like, boom, boom, boom. I said to Becky, I was like, that was the best meal I've ever had in my life, I think.
That was amazing food.
I gotta say, James is probably the calmest drunk I've ever been around.
You got him drunk for the first time in his life, didn't you?
No, it wasn't the first time in his life. He
Oh,
said
I thought it
does-
was.
He doesn't drink often, but he was very just calm.
Yeah, he
You
was.
you peer pressured him into getting pissed, bro.
Yeah.
At one point, he was trying to back out of drinking, and Fouad said, have this one for Luke Sando.
No, I did not say that. I
You
didn't say
did. You did. And he made him have it. He made him have it.
Okay, wait a
He
minute. The
could
reason,
not back
but
out.
that's out of context. We were talking about Luke,
Yeah.
and then I said it. It wasn't like I just pulled it out of fucking thin air. I
No,
didn't.
we were talking about Luke, and then you
Yeah.
said, "Oh, if Luke was there, he'd
I did.
drink it."
That I did say. Yeah, that I did say.
And then
But
James were like, "Oh fuck, I best drink it."
Oh, come on. You make me sound like such a bad. They all
No,
wanted to
it
drink.
wasn't in a bad way. It was in a funny way. It was like good. But then James needed the toilet. And he said to me, "Where's the toilet?" I says, "It's downstairs." He goes, "I don't think I can stand up."
It was a long walk down there.
Anyway, I'm not going there again. I'm glad you enjoyed your dinner, Neil, but I don't think.
Oh, mate, thank you so much.
Yeah.
It was honestly, I think it was the best meal I've ever eaten in my life.
Come on.
It was
good food,
beautiful. It was.
Was it good, Paul?
It was amazing.
So good.
I got
Yes.
stuck at one of those tables. I just kept getting drinks sent to me. I couldn't keep up with them out.
You got to remember, Neil's just done like 24 weeks.
Yeah, I
of,
know.
Like,
Yeah.
fucking, and 2 hours of cardio a day.
No, but honestly, the food, I did try all of the food, like a little bit. It was all really good food. I was more unhappy with just the table arrangement.
Yeah. It made conversation tough.
And the
between
price and the price
tables.
of, the price of drinks was fucking ridiculous too. So those two things I think got me, but it was a good day though. Then we went fucking off-roading and shit, shot a bunch of guns.
Oh, that was great.
Look
That
at
was crazy. That gun that Denise shot was wild.
Dude,
Which
you
was
know
that,
she got a massive bruise on her arm from that?
Really.
That was that sniper
Yeah,
rifle.
her whole arm. Yeah, the 50 cal.
All the staff said before she pulled the trigger, everyone open your mouth so your teeth aren't
Yeah.
touching.
Yeah.
We had to go.
Remember when Fouad shot that Tommy gun?
So I was the what was the pink one? The pink
the
one
elephant, the elephant gun. Yeah, it was like the elephant gun. I totally wasn't ready for it. I'm holding it, but I didn't think it was gonna kick like that. And then I fucking fired it. It's like,
Oh, the handgun. Yeah.
fucking let
no,
go of
it wasn't. It wasn't the handgun. It was the bigger fucking like.
No, it
Is
was
that
a
the pink
handgun.
one?
It's an AK that they've stripped down and taken the stock off. So it's an AK-47. It fires
Dude,
an AK round.
that
the
thing
thing
almost-
kicks and it flips out his hand.
That thing almost flew out of my hand. I was like, what the fuck?
Did you know the guy was telling me that's legal to carry around on your hip because it's considered a pistol.
Really?
Yeah, they modified it to be a legal pistol, didn't they?
But it's like the barrel's like this fucking long and it shoots an AK round, single shot. And the thing's like,
Check this out for those people who haven't seen this yet. Wait, play it again. That fucking shotgun shell hit you right, or not shotgun shell, the fucking bullet shell hit you right off the fucking face, Paul. It was like
Me, I know that gold gun.
That
Yeah,
was like a
that
scene
big
from
thing.
Scarface.
I had to do it. When I saw that gun, I'm like, I'm gonna fucking just rip it.
So that 50 cal Denise shot, she was on the bench.
Yeah.
All here, she went black and blue. Like
Really?
fucking massive. Yeah, because where it hit, it slammed, it kept whacking it. And
Yeah,
the bench would do that. Where the bench was vibrating, it was kicking her up and she was slamming down it. So 5 rounds, this thing went like the color of my shirt. It was crazy.
Wow.
I feel like I should have shot that instead of that Rambo gun.
The Rambo gun was shit. I didn't do that. I did the saw. The saw was good.
What was the saw?
Yeah, which one was that?
That big type in saw on Google. Saw
SAW?
machine gun. Yeah, SAW machine gun. Otherwise you'll get a fucking garden saw or tool come up.
What was everyone's favorite gun they shot?
I like the AK-47.
This was my one. This was my one, the saw.
Yeah, I saw somebody shooting that too. Yeah. I actually enjoyed, to be honest with you, I actually enjoyed shooting the sniper rifle the best.
Well, you got to shoot those explosives too.
Look, it's fun shooting the machine gun, but it goes so fast because the Rambo gun, whatever the fuck that's called, the Gatling gun, whatever it is, it's like you hold it and then you got your thumbs to press the triggers. And he's like, okay, you got 15 rounds. I'm like, all right. So I press it and it's like literally 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, and I'm like, it's done. I'm like, what? I look at him like, what the fuck? He's like, that's it. That's 15
There's
rounds.
$300 just like boom.
So I paid for another 15 rounds. I wasn't doing it.
That time you did it in two spurts, didn't you?
Well, yeah, because I wanted to take my time with it. So I was like, but the sniper one and the machine gun's fun too, but I feel like those are more fun if you could get like 100 rounds.
Yeah.
It's like go crazy, right? But the sniper rifle I like because you could actually shoot at something and then those things would explode when you hit them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were good fun.
So you actually had like fun, like targeting something.
I just felt like the targets were so far away.
I had 200 yarders.
Did you?
That was out of 10 rounds though.
Okay.
I had 2 rounds with it. So there were 5 rounds each, 5 bullets each. So I did 10 bullets, but I only hit 2 targets, but they were both at 200 yards.
They were 100 and 200, right? The
first set was 100 and then the second set was at 200 yards.
And are they the ones that did they blow up when you hit them?
Yeah. That's why I liked it. I'm like, it gave me something to like
so I got told off for that because I hit like a bunch of the orange ones and he was like, oh, you're only supposed to do 1. Yeah. Because I was like, oh, I fucking nailed a bunch of them.
Did you hit the first ones or the second ones?
But I hit the first one, then I hit 2 at this back. Yeah. Then I did another 5 rounds and did 2 at the back. So it's about 5, I think.
You hit 5 out of 10. That's
5 out of 10?
Jasmine hit 3
4,
out of 5.
4 out of 10 for me.
Jasmine hit 3 out of 5.
Women are always good shooters because they have
You know
patience.
what I think it is? It's not just the patience. When I was holding the rifle, I'm looking down the scope, right? I think it's partially the way we are because of our bodies and the way we breathe. Because I don't know if we breathe heavier than normal people or whatever, but like I couldn't get the fucking rifle settled because it was like
to steady their sights.
So I had to like almost.
Well, you have to hold your breath.
That's what I did. I almost like would breathe out all the way and then hold it, and then get the target I wanted to get. But I felt like I couldn't get the fucking thing. Like my hands were shaky or something. I couldn't get it like locked in.
Well, I think that's what like actual snipers in the real world do. They hold their breath right before they take the shot.
Probably,
do they?
Yeah.
I thought
I mean, I'm no expert. Someone's going to correct me, but in all the films I've seen,
someone in the fucking comments,
films, they all hold their breath because they can steady it better. I'm sure that's what they do.
I thought, and this is again, whoever's watching this is like a gun expert. Is probably going to shit all over us, but I thought they slowed their breathing. I thought that's how they did it. They did so well.
I think Ben's right. I think when you're ready to shoot, you hold their breath.
Right,
I think they slow it until they're set, and then when they're ready, they just stop. They hold, and then they'll shoot. That's why I do. Snitches get stitches. Did you see
that?
Hey, do you know who had secret skills at shooting? Mel.
Oh, is she? Yeah, I heard she was crazy good.
Really?
You know who's phenomenal is Dean. Dean and Hunter kept going, and Dean was.
Hey, look! Snipers do not hold their breath when taking a shot. Snipers will take a shot during their natural respiratory pause to find the natural respiratory pause. Slow breathe in, breathe out, then pause. That's what I was doing. See, I'm a natural.
It's kind of holding your
breath. So they are kind of stopping breathing. They're holding their breath.
Yeah.
Okay.
The short pause is known as natural respiratory pause and is the most stable moment of the breathing cycle. So they kind of like. They hold their breath, but they don't.
So they breathe all the way out and they stop, take the shot, and then breathe in.
Yeah. So they hold their breath.
Same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't suck it in first.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Anything else we want to cover before we go?
No.
No, we shit all over. Is everybody going to be mad? We kind of just shit on everybody, didn't we?
We talk about how good I look at 240 again.
Yeah.
We shit on Neil for. We shit
I
on
know
Neil
you
for
had
a
like
good-
half an hour, mate.
We shit on Neil for
I'm
30
joking,
minutes.
I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. I think maybe talk about Dean a little bit. Dean did absolutely amazing, top 10.
Yeah, Dean was man.
Come a long way in a year.
Think about Dean's 6 months. I mean, Ben could probably speak to this the most, but think about 6 months of this progression. He was an amateur in fucking June.
How many shows has he done? 3, 4? Total?
3, right?
Ever.
3.
Ever.
Yeah,
No,
ever. That's what I mean.
16 or 17.
Oh, I thought this was his first
He was
year
a
competing.
he was a PCA. He was a PCA pro. Look, like, he was a handy fucking
Oh.
bodybuilder before this year. He was winning shit. He's been winning shit for years.
Yeah, Dean's been like a top UK bodybuilder. He just didn't go into the IFBB Pro League.
Okay.
So
He
he
did
went.
it in other federations.
So he went.
Look at him there.
He went. His first NPC amateur show in July, right, Ben? Or is it August?
Yeah.
It was July.
No, July.
And then
July
the
was the qualifier for the amateur Olympia.
then the day after, got his pro card at a pro show by winning that pro show, and then qualified for the Olympia. Then he decided.
You know what's interesting? Like the guys that beat him at the Arnold, I think all except for one, he placed higher than at the Olympia.
Yeah, but you guys both knew that he wasn't at his best at the Arnold.
Yeah.
This is very good peak for him, man. Like he looks really full. His condition looks really good.
We had him as big as we could for the weight cap. So
Yeah.
Well, does he come right under 212?
No, it was as big as he. Like we could have had him tighter, but we started losing his upper body, and I was like, I don't want to lose his upper body. So until he's got the thickness and density where we can come down harder and bring him in tighter, I wanted to bring the best look. Like we discussed it. He wanted to be big and full on stage, so that's what we did.
What does he weigh? Or what did he weigh?
He was hovering around 209 for the last 2 weeks.
Okay.
Very impressive.
Yeah.
So happy for him.
But if we had him like all the way down and shredded, he'd probably be 204. But I want him, or maybe 206. But I want him. He needs to put on some density on his back and hamstrings now, adductors.
Dean's he's one of those guys that's going to end up at 220 and then coming down to 212. Right?
Yeah.
What did you say that?
Yeah.
Is that kind of physique?
That's the goal. If he can be in this kind of condition that he is now at 220, and then we can bring him down to 212 at weigh-ins, then he's gonna
and then fill him back up.
He'll be a problem, and he'll be a problem at 212. Yeah, because he's structurally pretty good.
Yeah,
well, he's very good. His front double, he's got a small waist. His front double's great. His side shots are deadly. So
most muscular's good as well, isn't it?
Yeah, most muscular's great.
He's
and he brought his upper back up in the last 6 months.
Branch Warren liked his physique, didn't he?
Branch wants him in the open.
Oh yeah,
Branch, these guys should be in the open class. He's like, well, how tall are you? He's like, well, I was that, so go big.
all the hostile guys are going for open. That's it. Fuck it.
You got other contracts with
The whole thing.
Nate's up.
It's in their contracts. You can't be. You have to put on muscle, and you have to be the open. That's it.
At some point in time, you got to be an open athlete.
You have to switch.
To the small print.
Yeah.
All right, boys. What are you guys doing for New Year's? Anything?
I think we're partying, aren't we?
Paul, you're gonna come over and get drunk?
Yeah.
All right.
We got
And
cheese board today.
You got what, Ben?
Yeah.
We went and got cheese boards and wine. That's what we're doing.
Oh, cheese and wine, nice.
Are you gonna finish a few bottles or what?
No, I don't like drinking that much anymore.
I don't either, but Fouad's gonna make me.
I gotta be around. That's the problem.
Me and Becky have a little New Year's tradition.
What's that? You have sex?
We yeah, a lot. And we
Wait,
go.
what? What's a lot? It's sex.
Well,
Yeah, then you do it again.
we have a New Year's tradition where every New Year we go to London for like 3 days.
Yeah.
And just kind of have a bit of a blowout hotel.
Yeah.
And just kind of switch off from bodybuilding and work for that 3 days. And that's like the only 3 days that we just enjoy ourselves.
Describe
He's
those
gonna come back. He's gonna come back lighter. He's gonna come back lighter. I promise you.
describe those 3 days to me. What happens? You leave in the morning on like Thursday.
So yeah, we're gonna leave on well, this week works out as Friday morning. We're
Okay,
gonna
you
leave.
Friday morning. You drive to London.
Yep.
Get a hotel. Where do you get a hotel at?
At Central London.
Okay.
In like a bit of a kind of boutique, high-end, kinky kind of place.
Kinky.
Okay. Paul's getting excited.
I like
So
that description.
So after you get the hotel, then what? You go dinner, or do you just get the hotel and
Yeah.
sex first, then go out?
So we'll have some food.
Yeah.
And then we'll kind of get on it, get drunk.
Yeah.
Have some fun and just kind of celebrate the year.
That's Friday. Then you wake up. Do you wake up hungover Saturday?
No, we like run it over for 2 days.
Oh, so you just don't sleep.
Oh, you don't sleep?
And then
I'm gonna assume a few things. I'm just gonna leave them out.
yeah, assume them. And then, but then that's
So I told you he's coming back lighter.
Yeah. He's not gonna eat for 3 days.
Yeah.
yeah, but
Okay.
then I'll be starving after and refeed.
That's
But
right.
like it's really good because you know my approach. Obviously, I'm very like this.
Yeah.
Like that 3 days or 2 days, 3 days every New Year. It's just like, and then you come back ready to get locked back in for another year.
Yeah.
And because Becky don't do bodybuilding,
Mhm.
it kind of allows me to keep her as my girlfriend.
Yeah. She's good with 3 days satisfies her.
That's
for the year.
all. 3 days a year.
Right.
It's a
She
hard 3 day. They go big for 3 days.
Well, if they're not sleeping for 3
Make
days,
up for the
then-
whole year. Yeah.
Yeah.
She just gets 3 days of dick.
I want to ask so many questions right now, but I just don't want to get you in
Yeah.
trouble, so I'm just going to leave them out.
Text
All right.
them. We got that group text with.
We'll have a conversation after the recording stops.
Yeah. Christ, Neil, what the fuck?
There is more I could tell you, but I don't think it's podcast suitable.
No. Let's leave it up. All right, boys.
I don't want to hear it either.
I'm gonna log off. Stick around for a minute. Thank you everybody for watching, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.
All right. See you guys.
Good night, guys. Take it easy.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, share with your friends, and like the video. And if you get a chance, check out the description for all the different links to all the different places you can find Hostile and myself. And lastly, check out hostile.com for our new line of supplements and all of our apparel and gear. Thanks again for watching.